Out, everybody. Appreciate it. You guys ready to make America great? Make Massachusetts great again?
Yes!
Excellent. Yes. Excellent. I also want to thank Randy for talking me into making sure I came down here because it's my daughter does have cheerleading tonight, but it's important to make sure with just a few weeks to go, we get out and do everything we can for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So if you guys don't know who I am, then it really wouldn't make sense for me to explain why I'm the co-chairman for Massachusetts here here for Donald Trump. I got involved about a year ago after I ran for state senate, but I ran in 2010. I think, Randy, you came in 2010, right?
I did.
Yeah, so we were the same class. And I was not into politics whatsoever. I was 40 years old, I had two daughters, 6 and 2, now 15 and 10. And I was on the finance committee in the town of Whitman. I wasn't enrolled with my local GOP party. I was really apolitical, like I said. But I found out that the state rep that we had was doing a horrible job voting on Beacon Hill for what was good for our towns. Decided to run for the office. 2 summers I went door knocking. I read 2 books on how to do it, and I ended up winning the race. John Walsh, the Democratic Party chair, lived in Abington. He was the party chair at the time. Shannon O'Brien, who ran against Mitt Romney, lives in the town of Whitman. My daughter and her daughter are on the same soccer team, and she stopped talking to me after she ran. After I started running. That was great. She didn't show me her tattoo either. And my opponent was from East Bridgewater, and his father was a state senator as well. So I really had no business winning that district, but it's a great district, and I put a lot of work into it. Andy Card, former White House Chief of Staff, is from that district. Mike Sullivan, former U.S. Attorney for Massachusetts, is from that district. So I represent Abington, Whitman, East Bridgewater. It's a great place to come from. Not as great as a Cape, I understand that, but it's a great place to be. In fact, the Toll House cookie from Whitman, so thank them for that. But anyway, since I came into office in 2010, I really felt like Beacon Hill needed an overhaul in what they were doing. And that's what I saw in Donald Trump. I saw in Donald Trump as a candidate with a field of 17, there was a lot to choose from, that he really was representing an outside perspective beyond the parties. He was somebody who I think has been very successful in his businesses, with his family, and really wants to give back and do what he can to make our country great again. I know it sounds like a cliched slogan, but we really need to make our country great again. Put our interests first, internationally, domestically, have a strong border. Look, I don't need to tell you, you've probably all watched the debates, you know what it's at stake. I've been debating a lot of the Democrats in the state in the last week or so. 2 years ago, I was the chairman of the ballot question 1, to repeal the gas tax from going up automatically without a vote. That showed in Massachusetts that we have a grassroots team that can actually beat what Beacon Hill does up there. And Scott Brown, and it wasn't me, believe me, I just was the guy that was debating Democrats all the time throughout the year. But it's the grassroots folks that really made a difference. And Donald Trump tapped into that same group of people this time, and really, with a big field still, won almost 50% during the primary. So that was fantastic. We ended up doing very well with the delegate selection process to go to the RNC. And then beyond that, now we're in the whole general election, and it's, again, very important for people to stick to Donald Trump, believe in him. We know that the media has it in for him, the smears, it's just all incredible. I couldn't get out of bed every day and put my pants on and go to work based on the stuff that he's been facing every day for months after month after month. That's the kind of guy that we need to take on the challenges that our country faces. That's the kind of guy that can stand up to other countries and not let them push us around. Iran. Look, we don't even need to get into foreign policy and the disaster we're in, but look at the Philippines just now recently saying they want to break relationship with America. I mean, we liberated the Philippines in World War II. What does that say to our veterans when a country is willing to break from us?
Yeah.
And by the way, you guys know that
Jimmy Carter sold the Philippines back to the Philippines.
Okay.
So now we have to pay rent to stay at Guantanamo Bay, not Guantanamo Bay, Subic Bay.
Yeah.
We paid millions of dollars because Jimmy Carter sold those bases back.
Well, whatever we ended up having to pay, it doesn't matter, because Hillary Clinton is for open borders. We're going to basically be an open border society at some point, and open trade, where basically companies now can just send their workers, or send their construction out of our borders so they can get cheaper labor. Look, there's a million reasons to vote for Donald Trump. There's almost 0 reasons to vote for Hillary Clinton, especially the corruption. She should be in jail. I mean, you all know what's been going on. She should be in jail. So the stakes are high. We in Massachusetts, we're always facing an uphill battle in a presidential election. This race doesn't just affect Donald Trump. This affects everybody who's running down ticket. Everybody who's running down ticket. we need to make sure that the people who support Donald Trump here are out there. If you don't know who your local candidates are for office, please find out and support them as well, because if they go door to door and talk about Donald Trump, and if Trump's and those folks who are the candidates go door to door and talk about Trump as well, we'll be in good shape. So I think that, again, you guys are doing great work being here alone, but it's going to take more work between now and the election day, and it's going to take a lot more work afterwards. I think we've seen the Republican Party has got to really reform and start listening to the people again, and both parties are being sort of self-examining themselves. I think that it was very clear that the election was rigged for Hillary Clinton, and I think Donald Trump, has had his difficulties with sort of a more establishment group in the Republican Party. We need to have representatives on Beacon Hill and in DC that are going to change the way business is done. We can't continue to work against the interests of the American people. I've probably gone on way too long, but I just want you to know that you can make that difference. There are several groups out there that are working for Donald Trump. MakeMAGreat.com is a website you can go to volunteer. Over the last few weeks, we've had people holding banners on overpasses. We got lawn signs. We're doing everything we can to get the message out here. I know they're getting stolen left and right. Yeah. And by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but the town of Hanston's right next to Whitman, and that's where the guy Bob Sullivan has that cage with Hillary Clinton in there. They actually stole the mannequin. They stole the mannequin. So that's how crazy it is. But look, this is really important. Massachusetts is the testing ground for all these Democrat ideas. The Affordable Care Act, the ACA, Obamacare. This started in Massachusetts. The Common Core started because of Massachusetts. It wouldn't have gone forward if Massachusetts didn't buy in, and it's cost us millions of dollars. The ACA cost us almost $1 billion in just the website, the failed website. And we have had a ridiculous, all these ideas proposed by the Democrats. And then there's the people. I don't know if you guys remember this. Back in the day, Hartford, Connecticut used to be the place where Broadway shows were tested out to see if they could make it onto Broadway. I think Massachusetts is the state where these liberal Democrats go to try out to see if they can make it on a big stage, right? Like Deval Patrick, right, comes in, they try him out. Elizabeth Warren comes in from Oklahoma, they try it out. We are like the canary in the coal mine for all these ridiculous Democrat things. We got to turn it around, not just for Donald Trump, but for the future. So I look forward to seeing more of you all in the future as we try to win not only on November 8th, but for the future, help Charlie Baker get reelected and make sure that we keep growing the Republican legislators up at the State House. So thank you all very much for having me here. Good luck.